Good afternoon. I'm Christopher Trommel, and my oral presentation is on a very satisfying accomplishment I succeeded. I feel this one is up there with a lot of my accomplishments because without it, I probably wouldn't be here today giving you this oral presentation. Um, I named it The Bumpy Road to Being a Veteran because that's exactly how my life's been. It's been an up and down road since I was probably about 3 or 4 years old. I'm gonna give you the lyrics to the song that I hold really close to my heart because it just sums up the stuff that I heard in my life that made me be a strong person that I am today. And it's by a band called In This Moment. It's You probably wouldn't think I'd get this far. You probably thought I would end up in the back of a car. You probably never thought I'd escape. You probably be a rat in a cage. I'd be a slave in this place, waking up alone when I was left to die. You don't know the life I lived, the roads I walked, all these tears I bled. Um, I was born, and I'm going to go into a little bit of my personal life to give you some examples of what I had to overcome and why I feel this is a very high accomplishment I have succeeded in my life. I was born on September 10th, 1986, in Lumberton, North Carolina, by the parents of Felicia Hunt and Christopher Trommel. Um, I did not have the greatest childhood in the world. My mom despised me. Um, I never had a relationship with my grandmother on my mom's side. That's because I was half white. So I haven't probably never seen my mom's mother in almost 23 years. It's because she didn't want nothing to do with me. I was half white. I couldn't control what I was mixed with. I was just brought into this world the way I am, and she didn't accept me. So that was it. I never have wanted to do anything with her. Um, I witnessed as a child a lot of domestic violence. It was a lot of yelling, a lot of fighting, and it was to the point where I couldn't stand being around my parents. I would go to my grandmother's house a lot just to escape from being abused, name called. My mom called me probably every name under the book, from excuse my language, from being called a faggot to a fucking disgrace. I did not have the greatest childhood. I did not. So I moved in with my grandparents. As soon as my parents had a divorce, my mom cheated on my dad, packed her crap up, and went to California. And that was probably when I was in the seventh grade. And from there, me and my dad, we didn't have a great relationship because all the stuff I seen him go through, and he put my mother through and put me through, I just couldn't look at him as a man. So I moved in with my grandparents, seventh grade, and my life went up. It wasn't the greatest, but I definitely think I escaped from my parents, or I probably would never been here because I couldn't take it. I would cry myself to sleep. I would be starving when I go to sleep because my mom just didn't care for me as much as she cared for my sister. Um, from the age of 11 till 18, I lived with my grandparents, and I actually call them mom and dad to this day, is because if they weren't there with me and giving me all the love and support they did give me, I probably wouldn't be half the person I am today. And I thank God they came into my life. and just took over where my parents couldn't do. Um, I am a product of the trailer park. I lived in a trailer for my whole life, and I knew eventually I wanted kids. So I told myself from the get go, if I want kids, they're not going to have the life I did. They're not going to live the way I did because in this society, it's all based on what you drive and what you live in and what kind of clothes you got on. And I don't want my kids going through what I went through, getting abused, from getting picked on. So I was working dead end jobs. I worked at the movie theater literally down the street from the school campus, Omni Movie Theater. I worked at Power Swing Chevrolet washing cars. So it was a job that I felt that I could raise a family with. So I went to the army. My dad was in the army. Excuse me. My grandfather was in the army, and my uncle was in the army. And I told my dad and my grandparents, I'm like, I have to make something out of my life, and I think the military is probably the way to go. And from the get go, my dad, you're not going to make it. You don't have what it takes to be a United States soldier. And to this day, I never don't look at him and say, remember when you told me I couldn't make basic training? How could we even make it out of basic training? I went to basic training with the mindset that I was going to crush everything. I ended up graduating basic training as soldier of the cycle. I was promoted when I was there from private to PV2. And I got home, I looked at my dad and said, that's one step I'm going to do to crush anything you ever told me I couldn't do. So for the past 8 years, I served in the United States Army. And it was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. I wasn't nothing before I joined the army. And with the army and its core and its values of personal courage, I probably would not be here at all. So this is why I feel that this is probably one of my most satisfying accomplishments I ever succeeded. I never would have thought I've been into how many states I've been in. I was I travel across the world. I've been to 5 different countries. I'm a combat veteran, and I'm a father, the utmost, and I'm a vet. So without this accomplishment, I wouldn't be the man I am today. And this is why I feel this is probably one of the most satisfying accomplishments I ever completed in my life. And I just want to finish this off with a quote by Michael Jordan. You must expect great things of yourself before you can do them. So, if someone's ever telling you you can't do nothing, just do it. Prove them wrong. And then you'll feel very satisfied. Trust me, I've been there and I know it. So, I want to thank you for taking the time. And I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you.